Most people moving from New Jersey to Southwest Florida know they're going to save money, but they don't realize how much money they're going to save. That's when you really start to see the savings add up. And to be honest, there are a couple of surprises in the other direction as well. So let me walk you through the actual numbers, some property taxes, state income tax, insurance, and utilities. So you know exactly what this move looks like financially before you pack a single buy. Before we get into it, if you're already thinking seriously about making this move, my team and I work with buyers relocating from New York, New Jersey, and Illinois to Southwest Florida every week. So you already know numbers look like wherever you're at currently. But if you want specific numbers down here with someone who actually knows what the market looks like, there is a link in the description to book a free call with me. I'm not trying to pitch you anything, not trying to get you under contract. It's just a conversation about what your current situation is. Now let's get down and see where the money actually goes. So we're going to deal with the big one first, which is the state income tax. Now, if you've previously heard me say on videos before, my big head off the way, Florida has no state income tax, zero. So if you're coming from New Jersey, you're paying up to almost 11% in state income tax. Illinois, you're looking at a flat fee just under 5%, and New York goes all the way up to just under 11%, depending on your bracket. So that money stays in your pocket the day you move down to Florida and change your address. So for someone earning $100,000 a year, that's potentially an extra $5,000 to $10,000 more in take-home pay annually just for moving down here. So now we get into property taxes next. So in Charlotte County, they're meaningfully lower than what most of people are used to in the Northeast. So in a $350,000 home with the Florida homestead exemption, the effective tax rate in Charlotte County typically runs around 1% or just under. So roughly $3,000 to $3,500 a year. That same $350,000 home in Bergen County, New Jersey, can run you about $8,000 to $12,000 in property taxes a year. Suburban Long Island, it's even higher. So we also have something called Save Our Homes cap in Florida. So once you establish your homestead on your property, the assessed taxable value can only be increased by 3% per year. That's regardless of what the market does. That's real protection over time from runaway tax bills. So let's shoot into homeowners insurance. Here's why I need to give you an honest number instead of the most comfortable. So it's no secret that homeowners insurance in Southwest Florida is where the real money is. So post Hurricane Ian, the market tightened significantly and the rates have went up. So depending on the home's age, your construction type, and the roof condition, and the current flood zone designation you're sitting in, you could potentially you're probably looking at around $2,500 upwards to $5,000 a year on your typical home. Maybe even more for older construction homes. And that's not a small number, so I want you to factor that into your planning before you start falling in love with a price point that doesn't account for that. But I will say the good news is for most of the clients coming from New Jersey and New York, they're still coming out pretty well ahead when you add all this stuff together. And the savings on the property taxes and state income tax usually more than offset those insurance costs. Now let's get into the utilities. You'll run your air conditioning probably all year, but the most through April through October. That's your main utility expense. Probably want to budget about $150 to $250 a month, depending on the size of your home and how cold you like to keep it. But on the flip side, there's no oil tank, you have no furnace, there's no $400 heating bills in January. The seasonal balance works out pretty well for most people. And the median home prices in Charlotte County are significantly lower than your suburban New York, New Jersey, or the Chicago suburbs. You're generally getting more house, more land, and probably a pool for less money. So for some of those exact comparisons, it really depends heavily on where you're coming from and what you're buying, which is why the free call is worth doing. We can always run a deal apples to apples for your situation and see how it looks to see if it makes sense for you. Now, most people coming here from New York, New Jersey, or the Illinois area see a real meaningful reduction in overall cost of living, especially if they were homeowners paying high property taxes and the state income tax. But the wild card is insurance. So you have to know that going in and plan for it in your monthly budget. And the math should, in most cases, still work out in your favor. So if you're looking at running these specific numbers compared against what you're paying now, to what you'd be paying down here. That's exactly what we try to do on that free call. I've probably done this comparison about a dozen times. I can usually put together a pretty accurate picture of what monthly costs will look like for a specific type of home in a specific area. But all the data that I've provided here, keep in mind, this is as of the time recording and it is averages. But my link is in the description. And if this video was useful to you, please subscribe. I put out content specifically for people like you guys thinking about making this kind of move. And I'm going to have a lot more coming out. See you in the next video.